From puberty and new social groups to physical and emotional changes, ages 12 to 19 can be difficult years for adolescents to navigate. This is a critical time where significant physical, psychological, and social transitions take place. The transitions during this period carry new risks and opportunities that have the capabilities to immediately affect the futures of our young people. Let's dive into this a little deeper. Meet Alicia. Alicia is a 14-year-old young woman who has been experiencing many challenges since her transition into adolescence. Alicia has been having issues getting along with her mother, and as a result, she bounces from home to home when her and her mother are at odds. She's threatened to run away several times, has begun to do poorly academically, and spends much of her time roaming the streets. A year ago, her mother discovered that Alicia was vomiting after eating, and when confronted, she withdrew even more from her mom. Social workers at a community center are concerned about Alicia's rapid weight loss, depressed mood, low self esteem, and seemingly low developmental progress for her age. Though they have no proof, they are also concerned that Alicia has been sexually active, but she refuses to discuss sex. Physical development is prominent during this phase, and their bodies begin to go through a plethora of changes. According to Dr. John's Panopto presentation, puberty is the process of physical changes through which a child's body matures into an adult body, capable of sexual reproduction and differs in both boys and girls. In boys, their shoulders begin to broaden and they begin to gain more muscle and aerobic efficiency. In girls, their hips begin to widen and they gain more fat like breasts with maturation of ovaries and menstrual cycles. Let's evaluate what we know about Alicia's physicality. The only way to truly track how Alicia is doing is to measure and assess those milestones. First, let's assess Alicia's weight. During adolescence, girls begin to gain weight and fat starting at age 10. The only way to ensure that Alicia is meeting this milestone is to weigh her over time. If there is an increase in weight and fat, then that confirms that Alicia is reaching this milestone. However, as provided previously, we know that Alicia immediately vomits after eating, and as a result, she's gone through an alarming weight loss. This is an immediate red flag in her physical development and indicates that something is preventing her from progressing. Along with an increase in weight and fat during adolescence, girls also begin to experience the development of sexual characteristics. According to Laura Burke in her book Exploring Lifespan Development, a girl's first menstruation typically occurs around 12 to 13, but the age gap can be as wide as 10 to 15. Menstruation is a key component in physical development amongst young women. In order to ensure that Alicia is hitting this milestone, it is important to ask her if she has currently experienced the menstruation cycle. Next, let's visit cognitive development in adolescence. Though not fully developed, according to Dr. Aisha John's Panopto presentation, the adolescent brain seeks excitement and risk taking and makes them feel invincible. However, they have poor regulation and they are primed for addiction. During this phase of life, according to Piaget's theory of cognitive development, around age 11, young people enter the formal operational stage. This stage is where they develop the capacity for abstract and scientific thinking. This stage means that they no longer rely on concrete or objective things or events. However, they are now better able to develop new logical rules. According to Piaget, adolescents should be capable of both hypothetical deductive reasoning and propositional thought. Hypothetical reasoning is the ability to start with a hypothesis about any given thing and be able to develop a logical and testable conclusion. Propositional thought is the ability to evaluate the logistics of a propositional statement without having to refer to real world situations. Now, using what we know about Alicia, let's dive in a little deeper. So far, what we know about Alicia is that she is doing poorly academically, and she has seemingly low developmental progress for her age. This is alarming for social workers, and in order to gauge where Alicia is cognitively, they need to use what we know about the theory of cognitive development and test her ability to think abstractly. When testing Alicia's hypothetical deductive reasoning, social workers can formulate this test into an experiment. For example, provide Alicia with the items needed to make a miniature tower. These items can include popsicle sticks, tape, hot glue, adhesive, and rubber bands. Once she is provided with these items, ask her what variables make the sturdiest popsicle tower. If Alicia can predict which items work and test her hypothesis out, then you know she is on the right track. If not, however, then this is a red flag that not only is Alicia behind cognitively, but something else is going on as well. When testing propositional thought, Asking her a series of questions and evaluating her responses can help gauge where she is in this area. For instance, giving her a series of questions like the object in the box is red or not red, options true or false. If she answers true, then Alicia is right where she's supposed to be and on the right track. However, any answer given outside of that response will require further evaluation and can be pivotal in understanding Alicia's cognitive development. Ages 12 to 19 are critical for youth. This is a stage in life where they are really trying to determine their identity and who they are. Emotional and social development within adolescence is the stage in life where they begin to develop a sense of identity, partake and begin to develop and battle with morality, self esteem, and self concept. In fact, Erickson's stage of psychological development says that during adolescence, youth begin to battle between identity and role confusion, which is their internal battle between who they are and who they should be according to outside influences. Developmental milestones within emotional and social development can be difficult to measure, but let's evaluate what we know about Alicia for clarity. According to social workers at a community center that she attends, Alicia appears to have a depressed mood and a seemingly low sense of self esteem. According to Laura Burke, it is normal for self esteem to differentiate amongst adolescent teenagers. From close friendships and romantic appeal to job competence, their level of general self esteem fluctuates. Although some youth experience low levels of self esteem generally rises from mid to late adolescence for most young people. Self esteem is a person's overall sense of self worth or personal value. In other words, it's how much you appreciate and ultimately like yourself. One way to be able to gauge where Alicia is with self worth is to interview her about herself, asking her questions like, what are the things that you are good at? Or what do you love most about yourself? First, force her to look into herself, and her responses will indicate exactly where her level of self esteem is. An overall development of morality increases within adolescence. Laura Burke suggests that utilizing Kohlberg's theory of moral development is a great way to see the moral maturity within an adolescent. Morality is a unified body of principles that one develops over time. Everyone's morals are different, however, they do develop and mature with age. Determining Alicia's level of morality is simple. Social workers can simply conduct a study of Alicia, similar to the study that Kohlberg conducted. The social workers can provide Alicia with hypothetical moral dilemmas and ask her what the person in the dilemma should do. The way that Alicia reasons about the dilemma is what the social worker should focus on, rather than the content of her response. From there, they can determine what level of moral development Alicia is in. According to Laura Berg, Yuri Bronfenbrenner is responsible for an approach that rose to the forefront of child development because it offers the most differentiated and complete account of consensual influences on development. Bronfenbrenner developed a theory known as ecological systems theory that views a person as developing within a complex system of relationships that is affected by multiple levels of their surrounding environment. This theory emphasizes the importance of studying children in multiple environments in an attempt to understand their development. The ecological model that Bronfenbrenner developed is separated into 5 levels of external influence. Let's evaluate these levels using Alicia's experience thus far. The first level is the innermost level of the environment. According to Dr. John's Panopto presentation over this topic, this microsystem includes immediate environments where the child has the most interactions. For instance, a child's microsystem includes their relationship with their family, like their mom, dad, sisters, or brothers. Let's evaluate Alicia's microsystem. As stated previously, Alicia has had issues getting along with her mother and frequently runs away from home when her and her mother are at odds. The relationship between her and her mother can and has been strenuous on Alicia. Her and her mother don't have a working relationship, and the older that Alicia gets, the more that she withdraws from her mom. If this cycle continues, Alicia can begin to completely detach from her mother and develop a plethora of emotional issues, including abandonment and neglect, and possibly resentment towards her mom. The second level in this model is the mesosystem. This system is a little more complex because it contains the relationship between the microsystems. Laura Burke uses the example of a child's academic process depending on a parent's involvement in school life and on the extent to which academic learning is carried over to the home. There's not much that we know about Alicia's mother other than the fact that they have a strenuous relationship. It is unclear on whether or not Alicia's mom is heavily involved in her school life. This system of Alicia's life is a bit cloudy. So the question that I would ask would be, what is Alicia's mother's involvement in her school or extracurriculars, if any? Next, we have the exosystem. According to Burke, the exosystem consists of social settings that do not contain the developing person, but nevertheless affect experiences in their immediate settings. For instance, this can be organizations, religious institutions, or community health and welfare services. It's important to understand that exosystem components can be either formal or informal. Based on what we know about Alicia, we can assess the fact that she is involved in the community due to her membership at her local community center. If you recall, Alicia attends a community center with a few of her homeless friends, which is where she was observed by social workers. The goal of a community center is to ensure that members of the community have social support and public resources needed for the betterment of the community. Though we don't know what services the community center provides, the mere existence of the community center shines a slither of hope for not only Alicia, but for other members who may need it. The outermost layer of this model is the macro system, which consists of cultural values, laws, customs, and resources. According to Burke, the priority that the macro system gives to the needs of children and adults affects the support they receive at inner levels of the environment. Because we are unaware of what Alicia's macro system is made of, this level of the model is difficult to assess. This then prompts the question, what cultural values and beliefs are instilled in Alicia and how do they affect her today? Another question that I would ask would be, what juvenile laws are put in place that ultimately affect her directly? Though not directly included in the model, the chrono system is the last major piece of Bronfenbrenner's ecological model. This particular system looks at the big picture of the world and how it affects development on all levels. The truth is that we truly do not know what this system looks like for Alicia. We're given no details on any big events or changes over time that have occurred during her adolescent life. Because of this, we would like to know what major worldwide events or catastrophes have happened and on what level have they affected Alicia's life. If we are looking at our world today, the pandemic is an excellent example. Because of COVID-19, Alicia would no longer be able to go to the places that she typically enjoys or be around her friends. This is a new normal for everyone, and so this would definitely restructure the way that Alicia lives her life. And now that we are aware of what issues are facing youth like Alicia today, let's talk solutions. It is apparent that Alicia and her mother have some work to do if they want to salvage their relationship. The Mother Daughter Project is the perfect organization for them both. The Mother Daughter Project began as a small group of mothers and young adolescent girls who were dedicated to discovering ways that mothers and daughters could remain close and thrive together through adolescence. According to their site, mother daughter connection through adolescence is good for girls and it is what they really want. Girls long to have a good relationship with their moms where they are respected for their growing maturity and individuality and where they can get the love and support they need to make it through the journey of teen culture. This organization provides a wide range of resources like psychotherapists, mother daughter support groups, and counselors who are specialized in these types of relationships and who are concerned with the mother and daughter and bringing them closer together. With the help of this organization, Alicia and her mother can begin to reconnect and have a healthy and loving relationship where they both hear and respect each other. A better relationship can help Alicia thrive and ease the pain and worry that her mother may experience as well. As stated previously, Alicia's mother realized that Alicia was throwing up after dinner, and as a result, Alicia has experienced an extremely alarming weight loss. This can be an indication of Alicia having an eating disorder. Monte Nido is an accredited program with state-of-the-art treatment provided to all genders through a combination of group therapy model T's, nutrition education, meal support, mindfulness training, medical and psychiatric oversight, and psychotherapeutic support. Clients work on behavior, mood, relationship, movement, food, and weight goals, gaining increased freedom and a responsibility for handling recovery challenges. The tools, skills, and ongoing support services help clients to become fully recovered and to maintain their recovery. This program can help Alicia get to the root of why she throws up after dinner, as well as to begin to teach her some healthy habits and properly diagnose her. With the help of this program, Alicia will be on the right track to being healthy again. Transitioning into adolescence can be difficult for many things, which is why it is pivotal that we understand developmental processes to ensure that they are on the right track to success. By evaluating them, understanding their development, you are better able to develop solutions that can help them lead successful lives. Thank you.